The United States is one of the most, quote unquote, most powerful positions in the world. Okay, the world used to.
On the south side of Chicago, they want more immigrants to come to Chicago, and audience doesn't like it. It's an Underground Railroad television show.
Permanently, no. Here are the barriers again. Is ownership is one. The owners of the east side have a permit application to demo their structures. I don't know how you have anything next to something that's being demolished. There's also
Just moved it. Let me.
development that
You ran over
is
this.
right around
It's on YouTube.
2024.
Hello? Okay. There are no resources coming to the people of the city of Chicago in this ward. I ran for alderman of this ward with everybody else. And when we filed our petitions, Ronnie Mosley was #1 with the signatures. I was #2. Out of the race with 14 people in it. I got kicked off the ballot.
Where's the go?
I had.
When I say lock, you don't mind.
But is it rotating or what?
If you rotate it like this, it'll go like this. Go like that, it'll go like that.
Went to the government and asked them to fast track the work permits. Thank you so much. The work permits for these illegal immigrants because they are not asylum seekers because they did not go through process.
Hello.
So, where's my fast track? I went through the clemency process, and my clemency is still sitting on his desk. He needs to fast track what he got authority to do before he go to the government asking them to fast track for these immigrants. Okay. He said that he don't have the labor force to do the work. So that's why he's trying to fast track these work permits for these immigrants. But he has thousands and thousands of clemencies sitting on his desk for people that have certain circumstances, but we haven't had a second chance. I haven't had a second chance. Where's my second chance? Before they get anything done or any work permit, where's mine?
When we have to realize that folks are coming home. They also need, in addition to some places, say work. They need to return to work so that their lives can be productive and they can go on. They have paid their dues to society. They have done their time. They served their time. I'm interested in partnering with my colleagues at the Black Caucus level to push forward for these efforts. It's something that has to be done at the city level, but also, like you said, the state level. And so that accountability, I believe, is something that we have 20 members of the Chicago Automatic Black Caucus. It's something that we can fight.
I'm just using the line. I'm not in line.
And the only thing stopping me from getting this job is my clemency. But he's saying that he want to give these illegal immigrants guns to become police officers.
They are illegal. They didn't come through the right process.
One, I'll say that I have a hard time believing that the 21st Ward, who has the largest membership of Black police and firefighters, and that number has been attempted to grow. That someone who is seeking asylum could be more qualified than folks who have been tested and trained for years. So that, again, I sit on the police and fire committee for the city, and that's one of the issues that I'm pushing as well, is how do we replenish the ranks? Because the majority of the folks who are there can retire tomorrow.
Do we have any call? We did for 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes. Thank you.
Do we have any cards?
Public housing. What about these undocumented asylum seekers? They don't have ID. They don't have fingerprints. We don't even know who they are.
That's not true. So again, the process starts at the border.
Right, that's true.
Folks are not just crossing the border and jumping.
The ones that come through the process.
They're going through a process.
Some of them.
At the border, and then also when they get here as well.
What are you doing to ensure that the safety of the people as they travel to and forth? And they got all this money that they allocated for them, but where's our money that's supposed to be allocated for our people? We got all these homeless people that's already here, and we're not doing anything about it, and then veterans really mentally ill, etc., etc., etc.
How about that?
Our children are exposed to people that they can't even identify. They're not fingerprinted, they don't have background checks on them. They just came here to be helped, and we understand that we have a deluge of people. We don't just have a couple hundred, we have hundreds of people being flooded in our community.
Thousands, brother.
And how is that safe for the ones that's here? And if we overflood and we don't have the money, that's 3 questions. Why don't they put a cap on it?
I mean, I'm trying to pick your questions. I'm going to ask you to get back in line. Right here.
Wait, you ain't gonna address either one of those questions?
Wait. I answered her first question. She asked a second question. Right before she spoke, I said, if you have another question, hop back in line.
I didn't hear it.
One minute, please.
My question is, you said it's not been installed on the picture. You also said the mayor said give you 2 or 3 sites. If you do not give them 2 or 3 sites, and you do not give them 110, will you accept the money? No.
It has to be, even we give sites. It has to be sites that work. I am not aware of sites that work. If anybody wants to get a
Work,
recommendation,
don't work, might work,
I am not
ain't
aware
working.
of alternative sites in the 21st ward.
One and done.
One and done. He one and done.
My question is,
Speak to the mic, please, ma'am.
my question is this, just saw here, the shelter people, they had rules about they had to do this, they had to do that. Is there one for those other people that you guys are quite trying to house?
Same.
They have the rules too, because the reason I'm asking you, they have rules, and it could be the media, like you're saying, but I've heard some written stories about those people. So if the shelters for us have rules, we need to know the rules for them too. If we have a site or not, I still would like to know. What rules are in place?
So I believe the question was, we saw rules for folks who are in shelters. Are there rules for folks who are not in shelters? Folks who are not in shelters have been at the police stations. That's the 2,000 plus number that you see. I do not know if the same rules apply to the police station. I can say that I believe this is part of why there's a push to restore our police stations. Also,
The 18 sites, you know that they.
the 18 sites have those rules.
Oh, those are the rules for them.
Those are the rules for the shelters, the 18 shelters.
They don't follow. Ask them where they go when they get put out. That's what I'm saying.
Good evening.
My question, first of all, I don't want us to appear to be uncompassionate or whatever.
We ain't the ones to be compassionate.
My problem to this day.
It's a government problem, ain't it?
Why are we doing all of this for these set of immigrants when the Haitians came up?
Hello. They put them on the plane quick with a whip.
They were worried about
question was about differentiation between certain populations from
Black folk
origins versus those from Haiti. So I actually met yesterday, along with a couple of my colleagues, about folks who are migrating from Africa to learn countries of origins that are migrating here as well. It is the current situation in Venezuela, which is why there's this uproar or mass movement from that country of origin to the US borders.
What about the Haitians though?
Years, I have a two-part question. We're concerned about development in our ward, for number one. For number two, the safety. The police radios are missing right now. They're taking guns in the police station. And we already overloaded with crime. We don't want that here. Under no circumstances, the other part, we don't want to be a accident state.
I didn't hear the last part.
We don't. She said we don't want to hear. That's what it comes
We do
down.
not care to be an answering state.
Asylum.
Oh, okay.
Can y'all work
Hey,
on
can you pass the what's the name for me? The recorder.
One break back in.
Her question was about, she said development and safety, she wants to make sure that the development continues in the ward. She wants to make sure that development continues in the ward. I agree with that. She brought up the point that she's heard that radios and other things have been missing from police, allegedly taken by migrants. I can get answers on that. That hasn't been shared yet. Am I upstairs?
Hi, I'm Princess. I just want to say
Thank you.
there seems to be a disconnect between what we're seeing, right? Like all of these multi-millions of resources pouring in and funding and so forth for housing, work permits, and blah, 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 right? For the asylum seekers. But what we're seeing in our communities are them just kind of piled on top of each other near police stations, meandering around in confusion. So it feels like a disconnect, right? All of these resources, but then what we're seeing. So I just want to say that is inhumane, okay? To pile people on top of each other. So it doesn't seem like there's a set plan for them. An observation in real time, you know?
Thank Glory Lightfoot.
What are the economic opportunities for property owners?
Thank you, Lori Lightfoot.
And reparations now for Black American, U.S. descendants of chattel slavery.
Hello.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
As it relates to her question was, what is the economic opportunity for property owners as it relates to asylum seekers? Catholic Charity has a program in which they are paying rents to help asylum seekers become settled. That information is online. We can share it on our platforms to make it more readily available.
Come with stupid question.
topic. This first question, are all wards participating? Were any wards excluded from having to place immigrants? If so, why? Site mentioned in 19th Ward, Beverly. Everybody got that meeting with the mayor, the hearings, all 50 of us. So this is where I'm going to be real with you. The decision is not necessarily one with the alderman.
One meeting, please.
Here's how I can give you examples on that. Just like if you are a business owner and you are looking for a space, if that space is already set up and so forth, you can open in and my office won't know until you apply for your business license. The city can go to a private owner and execute a contract. It is what has happened to some of my colleagues. The calls that they got were a little bit different.
Yeah.
Hey, we signed a contract. You're having a shelter open Friday. So try to develop a plan for if this happens. But we left that meeting saying this site doesn't work. And still today, that site does not work.
There's no site in America that works.
You can't do nothing, man.
There's no site in America that works. Like,
Are they immigrants? Do our homeless have any of those?
no, not even a tent.
Maybe they fall on part-time.
They go in there and take their tents. If they put one up.
What are we doing to protect them? Why are you making other places and not helping our homes? I don't
Check these settings, man, and tell me if you think they're good. Check these settings and see if you think they're good. Yeah, okay,
The question is kind of twofold into one. The homeless population.
Do you know if
that is
anybody
here
from the
now,
mayor's office is
what
actually
is
here?
happening? Do they get access? Do they have consent?
Pretty sure they are.
I'm not aware.
I don't know who they are.
What I am aware of is that, again, we just discussed in budget committee this week the need and already the allocation to direct funds for folks who are not housed. There is a conservative effort to move folks who are not housed into housing. There is also a request that has been placed on the table for the city to have a deputy mayor of homelessness. That is something that has not been done only at the city level. There is someone that is
No, this is probably
homelessness at the
turning
state.
up the volume or
There's
the power
someone
for
in
each channel.
period,
The volume is
responsible at the
recording?
federal
Yeah, it's
level.
recording. Don't touch that.
We don't have that here at the city level.
It probably
Those are two
can't hear this
items
actually
that
as
have been
recorded. I don't
taken to again further serve those who are here and homeless now.
Can y'all hear me? Good evening, Alderman Mosley, with all due respect, that presentation that you just did.
All right, you too.
And that is game that City Hall has been running on all black communities since this situation has become prevalent in our city. To soothe the fears and frustrations of the black community. We are saying no to 150 in the hostel. We are saying no to South Shore. We are saying no to our bar. We are saying no to our park. To the Mayor Bradon Johnson, and telling them that your constituents said no. Thank you.
when they came and met with us, let me first say that the table around challenged people. They challenged them. They said, you're coming to talk to us, but we have the feeling this is a done deal. And responded, no contract has been signed. I cannot give you a definite, no, this will not happen. Because I am aware of what is in my authority as an alderman. I am also aware of other aldermen who have said, no, and guess what? They haven't. I'm also aware that if I tell you no, this is not happening, and then the decision is made without me, then guess what? How does that impact my relationship with you? So, I made a commitment that I'm going to practice leadership, and I'm going to communicate to you from the day that I took office. This is why we're having that meeting. I'm not waiting for someone to make a decision for us and then we are reactionary to it. I'm saying that if this happens anywhere in our ward, we have to be prepared and have a plan for it.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, would you expect me to just get on TV and say, oh, well, we didn't want it and it's coming here? That's not the leadership that you deserve. And so I'm going to keep fighting for our interests in the ward. That is my priority. Our interests first. And I'm going to keep being honest with you about whether it's challenges or opportunities that are in front of us and work together so that we can figure out how we go forward.
Giving honor to God as the head of my life first. And I know it's Melissa, and I live in this ward. But I was a victim of an attempted carjacking in 2021. My car door was open and a gun was put to my head. Thank God I'm still here. You may have heard this voice on the news. Nothing happened. So my concern, I know I heard somebody mention safety over there, but when I'm at the light coming off the expressway, it's people at my car with signs and different people I've never seen before. So my concern is, what about the safety of the people that are already here, like, for real? Because I get paranoid. And yes, I have a CCL, and when I see them walking up to my car, I make myself prepared now, because I was unprepared when that gun was put to my head. And I don't think it's fair to them or me, because maybe they are just asking or in need of something, but that don't make me feel safe. So I'm concerned about my daughter, my sons, my grandsons, just our safety. And again, like they said, we're not concerned about the people, but we got to worry about us that been here. Thank you.
First again, say, the priority of us is us first. The specific example that you gave about folks being at the exits or entrances of expressways is something that we can enforce. Now, if you call our office, we can reach out to the proper channels to have the enforcement done. Historically, we know that has happened before migrants got here, and so it's a new face there. But if you call our office and ask us to report it, or report it to us, then we can work on the enforcement of it. Is that other topics?
Card. Listen, I got one simple question. You spoke about our seniors. I'm one of them. My chief concern is you spoke about a lot of different things being done, a lot of developments, and a lot of progress being done in the 21st ward. I want to know, how are you going to pay for all this? You said the federal government only gave the city $30 million. Now, what I've read to date is that it's going to cost over $200 million to support these people. I mean, I understand what the city is trying to do, but what about whether or not I'm gonna eat tomorrow. Okay? I'm concerned about people walking in my driveway stealing my car because they've done that. You know, I'm concerned about the fact that Link gives me $13 a month, you understand, to eat. You know, so I'm not understanding why.
Any message for your grandchildren? Great.
Because I happen to have known someone who was in the NSA.
Okay.
All right? And they don't know what they'll know now. I've been in their building with him. Did you see it?
Yes, sir.
And they
Some people don't know what NSA is.
the National Security Administration. And when I walked up in there and seen something like that, they got video screens. I mean, from here to 35th Street.
Those street cameras, right?
Those are the screens like you watch on a computer.
Right.
All right? They got a room where they listen to conversations all around the country. All right? That's why I can say what I said. But they let me go because he was an important person. And they figured if he was pregnant, it was all right. All right? They made a mistake, but I never forgot that.
Well, wait a minute,
Wow.